All right, y'all, day one. Y'all, we talked about it. Excited about the opportunities, right? Excited about the opportunity we have. Starts right now. The devil's in the details. Everything we do, detail-oriented, purposeful, intentional, high level of communication.
When Caitlin Clark walked into the Gainbridge Fieldhouse Practice Center this morning, cameras popped non-stop like flashing lights. Nervous team executives looked on from above, and across pro basketball, people waited to see what would happen next. She came through the doors, sat at her locker, tied up her signature shoes, and stepped onto the clean hardwood at Salesforce Court. And without saying a word to the media crowd around her, without giving any polished PR line, she reminded every tense executive in that building and every worried team in the league exactly who she is and exactly where the real power sits. Day one of Indiana Fever training camp is now over, and the truth about what happened on that court is going to make a lot of online narrative pushers, corporate spin experts, and front office defenders very uncomfortable. The reports coming out of Indianapolis are not just encouraging, they are downright frightening for the rest of the WNBA on every level. Let me tell you what really happened today. Not what the social media hot take crowd wanted to see. Not what the drama chasers hoped for to boost clicks. And definitely not what the Fever front office seemed to be hinting at over the last week. Let me tell you what happened when 16 fierce elite pro players stepped onto the floor for the first official day of camp. Caitlin Clark ran the offense. Plain and simple, no debate. The ball was in her hands all day. She pushed the pace so fast, defenders could barely keep up. She spotted cutters before they even knew they were open. She fired perfect transition passes through tiny openings that left veteran pros staring in disbelief. She pulled up from 35 feet right near the logo, shooting like the basket owed her something. After 8 long months away from WNBA action, she did not look rusty. She did not look hesitant. She definitely did not look like a fragile player returning from a brutal injury layoff who needed to be treated carefully. She looked like a top predator, finally let loose after being locked away, waiting for the moment she could get back on the floor and tear through everything in front of her. No rust, no fear, no caution, just pure, dangerous Caitlin Clark basketball. From the first whistle to the last, this is WNBA Pro, your direct, honest, and unfiltered home for top-level WNBA breakdowns on YouTube. And today, the first real warning shot of the season was fired across the whole league. We are breaking down the tension from day one, tearing apart the front office storyline piece by piece, and showing exactly why the internet conspiracy talk just disappeared.
This year's draft. Now we're gonna jump right into this thing, man. One picture has sent the internet in uproar, bro. That is seeing Caitlin Clark back in the gym. This is the photo from Tony East that had surfaced online. So as you guys can see here, Caitlin Clark is in the gymnasium, the Fever practice facility, and she's ready to go, man. Today is the first day of training camp for the Indiana Fever. Now, what we could expect is a lot of clips. Hopefully we get some clips from Caitlin Clark and the team, kind of seeing them gelling, seeing them getting stuff.
Almost nobody in the mainstream media is talking about how badly the panic crowd and corporate narrative builders misread what was really happening on the court. For the last 7 days, the loud story was that the Indiana Fever front office was deliberately hurting Caitlin Clark, that executives were on a quiet mission to weaken her impact, that drafting a defensive guard like Raven Johnson was part of a setup from the start, that head coach Stephanie White wanted to move Clark off the ball, take away her playmaking power, and turn her into a catch-and-shoot option, that the whole organization, driven by ego and control, was working against its own generational star. But what actually happened on day one, when camp opened and the balls went up? Clark was in charge. The team worked at a high level. And what was rookie Raven Johnson doing? She was defending. She was competing hard. She was learning and taking everything in. She was doing exactly what the Fever drafted her to do, which is be a relentless point-of-attack defender who brings grit and toughness to a perimeter defense that has badly needed it. She was not taking Caitlin Clark's role. She was not running point while the best passer in the world stood useless in the corner. She was not part of some grand plan to shrink the star. She was a 22-year-old, two-time national champion rookie at her first pro practice, doing what rookies do, working, grinding, competing. Now, that does not mean fan concerns from the past week were totally wrong. WNBA Pro has been clear, loud, and consistent about this, and we are not walking any of it back. The public messaging from the Fever front office before camp was a total disaster. Stephanie White calling Caitlin Clark an on and off ball player was clumsy and alarming. Team President Kelly Kroskoff talking about a generational talent needing to fit the system came off arrogant and tone-deaf. Senior advisor Lynn Dunn brushing off passionate paying fans as complainers was plainly disrespectful. General Manager Amber Cox, speaking publicly about Raven Johnson becoming a combo guard, created real and understandable concern. All of those communication mistakes were real. They put heavy pressure on the fan base. They helped spark a boycott. And those executives earned the criticism they got from this channel and from the public. But there is a major difference between bad front office messaging and the actual plan shown on the court. And day one of camp just showed the entire basketball world that the plan inside that gym is not the same as the one people were hearing all week. The real basketball plan, when it actually counts, is Caitlin Clark running the offense, period. And if Stephanie White had any other idea in mind, if she truly wanted a system-first attack that pushed Clark to the side, Caitlin Clark had already put her in a brilliant psychological corner months ago. Listen to the old clip where Caitlin Clark praised Stephanie White's basketball mind. That is how a real chess player moves.
Just a short time with you and Stephanie as your head coach. What do you appreciate the most about what you're learning from her right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that I've always admired about Steph, and I've known her for quite some time now, obviously not on the level that I do now, but like she just has a really, really good basketball mind. And if you listen to her call NBA games or college games, like her knowledge of the game is far better than most people. Like she understands how the game is supposed to be played, situation basketball. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to put people in positions to be successful, 1 through 5 on the floor. She's going to put us in lineups that are successful, but also like she's going to hold you accountable. She's going to coach you, and that's something I'm really grateful for. But also like she's just been a good sounding board for my.
Listen closely to those words. Caitlin Clark told the media she knows what she is doing. She knows how to put people in spots where they can succeed. She's going to build lineups that work. In the highly watched and ego-driven world of pro sports, that is not just a polite compliment. That is a public challenge dressed up as praise. Caitlin Clark was telling the basketball world that she expects her coach to be smart enough and unselfish enough to place players where they are best. And where is Caitlin Clark best? Where does she destroy defensive numbers? With the ball in her hands, running point, controlling the pace, directing the half-court offense, and leading the league in assists. If Stephanie White had tried to force that feared off-ball approach today, if she had really tried to park Clark in the corner to make room for a defensive rookie, she would have been going directly against the very basketball intelligence Clark publicly credited her for. It was a smart checkmate by the franchise player long before the preseason even started. White had to give her the keys. And here is the part about Raven Johnson that the drama crowd does not want to hear because it completely ruins their story. Raven Johnson looked like she belonged. She was not overwhelmed by the cameras. She was not shaken by the controversy around her arriving in Indianapolis. And here is the detail that should silence everyone who said these two could not coexist. Caitlin Clark and Raven Johnson were on the same floor today. They practiced together. They ran drills together. They talked through screens. They went against each other in scrimmages. And the world did not fall apart. Leah Boston said it best on her podcast last week when she said fans and media usually have way more beef than the players do. She was exactly right. Caitlin Clark and Raven Johnson are serious professionals with winning backgrounds. They're not carrying fake internet drama onto the court. They are carrying basketballs and a strong desire to win. And today, both handled themselves well, proving that a lockdown perimeter defender and a special offensive point guard can absolutely work together if the coaching staff does not overcomplicate it. Now, let me tell you what Caitlin Clark looked like, because the physical and statistical details matter, and they should worry every defense in the league. Remember what this young star went through. Clark spent 8 difficult months rehabbing from a chain of soft tissue injuries that ruined her 2025 season. Groin trouble, quad strains, ankle sprains, all of it coming after the physical toll of carrying a franchise while getting pressured full court night after night. She rebuilt her body step by step. She went through Team USA camp in December to test herself against top veterans. Then she went to Puerto Rico in March for the FIBA World Cup qualifiers and took over, winning tournament MVP after dominating against elite international physical play. She put up 17 points and 12 assists in only 19 minutes against Senegal, while hitting 4 of 5 from deep. 19 minutes. That kind of efficiency breaks normal basketball logic. She arrived at FIBA camp today looking like she had taken all of that international confidence and turned it into fuel.
Darts, bruh. Nothing but darts. Yeah, man. So today's the day. So we should be getting a lot of content today, a lot of news today. I know the Indiana Fever admins is going to work some things out to keep us informed with everything.
Before the burst was obvious, the first step that injuries took away from her last season was back and looked electric. Her shot mechanics were smooth, balanced, and deadly from everywhere, even well beyond the WNBA line. Her passing was sharp and precise, using her eyes to move defenders and threading passes through tight gaps. Her competitiveness was off the charts. Every rep she took felt like a loud message to the front office that she is not here to be load managed, not here to be turned into a combo guard, and definitely not here to hand over control of the offense to anyone else. And the team around her is better, deeper, more flexible, and more dangerous than anything she has played with before. Look at the level of talent she is working with this season. Kelsey Mitchell is back, a pure scorer on a $1.4 million Supermax deal after averaging 20.2 points a game, ready to feast on the open looks Clark creates. Aaliyah Boston just signed a huge 4-year, $6.3 million extension and remains the anchor inside and the perfect pick-and-roll partner. Lexi Hull became a true sniper, hitting 47% from 3 whenever she shares the floor with Clark. Sophie Cunningham brings edge, toughness, trash talk, and bodyguard energy to help protect Clark from cheap shots. Monique Billings adds strength, verticality, and non-stop rebounding for extra possessions. Misha Hines-Allen brings championship-level passing from the post. Raven Johnson can take on the other team's best guard, letting Clark save energy for offense. Tasha Harris gives solid veteran stability off the bench. And rookie Justine Pissett, a 6-foot 4-floor spacer who shot 42% from 3 in college, gives the defense even more to worry about. That is not just a random group of names. That is a carefully built championship-level roster. And it is being led by a generational player who clearly has full control. This team has enough shooting to punish doubles on Clark, enough size to hurt smaller defenders inside, and enough grit to survive the late-game stretches that used to hurt them. Now, let's be fair, because one practice does not decide everything. We still need to see the preseason games. We still need to watch how Stephanie White uses the guard rotation and handles the minutes once the lights are on, and the pressure is real on April 25th against Dallas. We need weeks of real on-court proof before we can fully judge whether this staff is maximizing Clark or quietly limiting her to protect a system. But day one was the best possible start, because the main question every fan had before camp, the one that had people canceling tickets and flooding inboxes, was simple. Is Caitlin Clark still the point guard? Is she still the clear engine of this franchise? And the answer from the court itself, not from PR people, but from the actual basketball, was loud and clear. Yes, the preseason opener is April 25th against the Dallas Wings. The regular season begins May 9th, and WNBA Pro is making a bold call right now for everyone to hear. This Indiana Fever team is going to shock the basketball world this year. They are not just going to be fun, they are going to be a problem. And it will not be because of the front office. It will not be because of polished PR language or buzzwords like versatility. It will not be because of a coach's strict defensive ideas. It will be because of Caitlin Clark. Because when she is healthy, driven, surrounded by great shooters, and playing with a huge chip on her shoulder built from 8 months of doubt and disrespect, there is no player, no scheme, and no coach in women's basketball that can fully match what she brings every night. The corporate drama that took over the internet for a week was noise. The basketball is what matters, and day one proved that clearly. WNBA Pro said all week to stay calm, ignore the panic and wait for the court to speak. Well, the court spoke today, and it said Caitlin Clark is still that girl. She is still the center of everything, and she is officially on a revenge run that could leave the rest of the WNBA behind. This is WNBA Pro. Hit subscribe now because this season is about to be special, and you need a channel built on real basketball and tape study, not clickbait. Drop your day one thoughts in the comments. Tell me who was right this week and who was wrong. Do the practice reports make you feel better? Or do you still not trust Stephanie White and Amber Cox long term? Do you think Caitlin Clark is about to put together the best statistical season the WNBA has ever seen? I want every strong opinion in that comment section right now. Hit the notification bell because preseason starts in just 6 days, and we are not missing a single moment, pass, or press conference. The talk is over. It is time. Keep the vision clear. Trust the basketball, and we will see you in the next deep dive.